So for today's project, we need some steel. Now this piece of steel is an offcut from the anvil build I'm doing at the moment. Now there is a bit sticking at the side here, and it's going to take too long to cut it off, so I'm just going to leave it. But it's going to be about this big, roughly, and this can just be probably between the hammers on, like a tool rest basically, near the fire. But this is the part of the anvil. Now this is going to be the base of it. Now I've got a mower laying in the backyard, and we're going to cut that up for the steel for sidewalls of this furnace. So I'm going to grab that mower, and I'll see you in a bit. And sorry for the rain, if you can hear in the background. It's raining at the moment, and it's quite loud in the shed. So sorry for that, but I'll see you when I get the mower out. As you can see, this is the mower we're going to be using. Yeah, it's pretty in rough shape. That's why we're going to use it. Plus it's metal. So we're going to be using pieces like this part here. Nice thick steel, like the side step there, and like this part here. We're going to be using the sides of our forge. So I'm going to get some angle grinder, cut the measurements there, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've came the steel up. And as you can see, it's cut that edge, and that edge down there. So I've got to do the one down the center here, and one across the front here, sorry. And these two bits of steel are going to be the sides for forge, which are going to go here and here. So I'm going to do some more cutting, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've got the bottom of the piece of mold cut out now. Now that big piece of steel it took forever to cut out, but it's done now. As you can see, it's on the side now. They're just laying at the moment, just to get an idea. But this is going to be the forge. So, I'm going to cut some more steel, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've got the dashboard part of the mower off now, which took forever. As you can see, I've got that piece of steel cut off before. I'm using that as a template, so I'll get right off to the same side. And this piece here is going to go on that side there. It's going to be off, so it'll be the spot where that pipe is going to come out for the air to go into the forge. So I'm going to do some more cutting, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've got some sides off. The back part there is a bit shit, but it's due for now. Now, as you can see, this is a pipe here that's going to connect to our forge build, which I've got on YouTube if you want to see it. And this is where we're going to have the charcoal. So, we need to put a lid on it, sort of. So, some sort of ventilation shaft sort of thing. But it's not welded yet. Just laying in place roughly, just so you can get the idea of what we're working with. And I reckon this might turn out quite good. So I'm going to do some more cutting, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've got the first two bits welded on basically. Still got that part there, but I wasn't in the good. So I'm going to weld this piece on, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've got a fair bit of progress done since the last little video I showed you. Now, you may notice this part here and this part here, and that bit on the side there sticking out. Well, this is 100% planned. I was just chucked it together. We'll cut them off when it's near the finished state. So, because right now that's having structural strength. What I mean by that, this part here is holding this together so that it slims out back in. So I'll finish welding that, and I'll cut that off to make it look nicer. And I'll cut this off as well to make it look a bit nicer. But there's a fair bit of holes there, if you haven't noticed. Right there, and right there. Now these are from like parts of the mower going through and all the bits and bobs for the mower. So if there'll be holes throughout this, which I've got to patch up with metal. But it's a lot of work, but it will be good at the end. Then I've got a forge, and it was free. So the mower was lying around being a pain in the ass. So, and yeah, you may also notice the big gap at the end, that will be sealed off as well. So I'm going to do some more progress, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, there's a fair bit of progress done with this forge at the moment. Now you may notice that part there, and that part there has been cut off, except for this part up here. Now this part here I haven't cut off yet because my welds are pretty crap and they broke. And it's quite flimsy, and I don't want to cut it yet because it's going to flop around and be a pain in the ass to cut because it'll be all shaking on that. But yesterday, I went to the dump, and I've got this C tubing framing thing. I don't know what it is, but it's metal. Now, it's about, maybe 2 mil thick, I reckon. And we're going to use this for the front of the forge. So it can probably go about here, and the back there, and for the top here, and to cover all these holes up from the previous holes that's been drilled into it. And then I also got these off-cut square tubings from the dump as well, which are laying around. So I thought I'd use these as the side of the legs for our forge. So I thought timber would probably heat up and start burning, so we're going to use some metal. And I reckon this is plenty enough for legs and big enough for legs. So I'm going to start cutting these up, and I'll see you in a bit. As you can see, I've cut some steel. Now, it's not welded in place at the moment, it's just laying there to have a look. But as you can see, I've got the steel at the back, which is sticking at the end, but I'll cut that off at the end. And then I thought, I might as well, while I've got it, not make this a nice structure, but make this like some walls, so you can push your charcoal in. It's not all going to fall out, so it's a bit more contained in. So I won't have falling charcoal falling on the floor and potentially causing a fire. So I've did that, and then I've got a whole bunch of cut bits of steel. Sorry about the line; it's very reflective with this steel. And we're going to use these to patch the sides up. So we're going to use that to patch all these holes up along here and out here. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit more cutting and do some welding, and I'll see you in a bit. Now, you may notice we're outside at the moment. Well, because I just finished burning the forge a bit last night. Now, sorry about the lighting, it's pretty crap. So it's still reflecting it. And like, you may notice I've got the chimney up. There's a backboard now. Back there. At the front. Yeah, these will be cut off. Same with that, and then on the other side as well, to make it look neater. But that's what I've did for now. I still got to do a lot of welding and grinding and cutting still. But I've got the chimney nearly complete. Now, there's a few open spots which I've got to finish. But it's in there quite good. As you can see, that's what it's going to look like roughly. Now, there's a big gap there. I will fill that up with some steel, but for now, there's a fair bit of progress done in welding. So I'm going to do some more cutting welding, and I'll see you in a bit. So part 1 of this forge build is now complete. Part 2 will be coming in a bit, I would say. Maybe a few months, maybe a few weeks, depends on how I go. Now, you may just notice it's broken. Well, you'll see why. So stay tuned for the next part of this forge build, which is episode 2, and you'll find out why this is wrecked into pieces. See you in part 2.